Hello, this is Joe Delbridge, and I'm with the Alsawilliam Company, and today we're interviewing Chris Johnston. And Chris is a recent graduate from Full Sail University, and he has a degree in internet marketing. So welcome, Chris.
Hello.
Hi there. So yeah, welcome to the chat, and thanks for taking the time to have a talk with the many viewers of the Alsawilliam Company. Many young entrepreneurs are going to be very interested in what you have to share, I think. So would you mind doing a quick introduction about yourself and just kind of how you came about, being where you are now?
I worked in sales for about 10 years. I worked in financial services sales, and I worked in real estate sales, working primarily with real estate investors. And I did that for about a decade, and I finally got really fed up with living paycheck to paycheck or feast or famine in the sales business. So I decided to go back to school in 2009, and I got a bachelor's degree in internet marketing because I'd been researching internet marketing for a long time, and I realized that I looked for programs that were marketing focused but had a digital component, and the only program I could find was Full Sail that there were several master's programs, but I was looking for a bachelor's program. So I enrolled in that program. I completed that program in a little over 2 years, and then I enrolled in a master's program approximately 1 year later in new media journalism to beef up my video skills and my storytelling skills. And then I graduated that program, and ironically I was pretty much an entrepreneur because I was self-employed before school, and after I graduated, I essentially started looking for jobs in those industries, and I worked in communications for a healthcare staffing company. I left there and worked for a direct mail company as their director of communications, and then I left that position and went to work for an advertising agency as an SEO strategist and copywriter, which I did up until about 2 months ago. I'm currently interviewing to be the director of digital marketing and communications for a program run by the Audubon Society here in Louisiana.
Okay, awesome. So let's go back to young Chris. Young Chris want to be when he grew up.
Up until about 16, I had no clue what I wanted to be. I was all over the map, and when I was 16, I stumbled into this nature center in eastern New Orleans. It got destroyed during Hurricane Katrina, but this place was awesome. They had woods around it. They had trails. If you were in there, you did not know that you were in the middle of a city. It was totally secluded. There were alligators in the ponds, and I spent every minute I could there. It was about 5 miles from my house, and literally I would walk there some days and walk back home in the middle of the summer. And the summer in Louisiana is not pleasant. It gets 95 degrees and 90% humidity, so it can be brutal here in the summertime. And I got so many experiences there. That led to me working at the zoo for a while, and during that time I caught alligators from the back of boats and relocated them to other places.
Wow.
I got bitten by more species of snakes than I can remember. I had an alligator bite into this hand.
Oh my gosh.
In a couple of spots. I had a great horned owl put 2 talons into this hand. I had a black vulture, try to take my eyeball out, and I had a scratch on my face. So I'm a pretty adventurous guy.
Sounds like it.
so I never imagined that I'd have a desk job. And back then, the Discovery Channel is not what it is now. So there were lots of these animal shows that were actually educational. You know, they weren't the flash and shock that they are now. And I actually envisioned myself being the host of one of those shows. But I didn't know how to get from where I was to make that happen. And recently, I've actually decided that I'm going to do that on my own. I'm going to have I'm going to create a show on YouTube and using Facebook Live, and just create my own thing. And if Animal Planet or something picks it up, then that's great. But the technology's there now that I can kind of do it on my own.
That is awesome.
So that's kind of where I'm going. That's a side project that I actually just started a couple days ago.
That's fantastic. Okay, so so when you were younger, so let's go back to before you started working in sales. Did you ever think when you were younger that you wanted to do something on your own, start your own business or start your own TV show?
Well, at that time, because I'm 44 years old. Mm-hmm. So when I was younger, we didn't have to start your own TV show was not even possible. There were no tools. The cost would have been prohibitively high. So that's where I ran into the mental block, was because I had to get permission to broadcast, because I needed a network who's the gateway to the audience.
Right.
And now that there's no barrier now. You know, if you've got a camera, you can do it. I mean, I have a camera right here, you know, that does video. It takes pictures. I have a video camera. I have lapel mics. I mean, I have all the stuff that I need. And for in-studio type stuff, I mean, I'm talking to you here. You know, I got a microphone. I got a camera in here. I've got headsets. So I got everything I need now to make it happen. It's just a matter of going out and doing it and not getting arrested while I'm doing it.
Yeah, so the Al-Sowalim company is, as you know, is very supportive, you know, of young entrepreneurs and giving them knowledge and helping them, inspiring them to do things. And I think that you hit on something there. I think people, especially the younger generation, millennial and forward, probably don't realize that this is something that wasn't around back then. So this is you have technologies available now and exposure capabilities that you never had. That's
okay.
I think that's really an interesting point that you hit on. So at the moment, so your goal now, you're getting started with this potentially new job, and starting this business or the TV show, which is really great. Do you see any challenges that you faced along the way that you've been able to overcome, and maybe a story that you could share with our viewers about that?
Well, one of the things is, in fact, today I was going around taking an inventory of the tools that I have available, because something happened yesterday and this morning that made me realize that, like, a lot of the stuff that I thought was standing in the way of this were really just personal limitations I had put on myself. A lot of times things are not going to be perfect. You're not going to have everything that you need, and you need to just get started with what you have. So, you know, you don't have to have a $2,000 DSLR camera. I mean, an iPhone records in 4K video. You can buy if you have a tripod, you can buy a mount for $10 on eBay that'll let you mount your iPhone to your tripod, so you can have it there in front of you. There are mic solutions for $10 or $20 that plug into here and have a little mic that point out. So sometimes you you think that you need to have all this stuff to be perfect, and you don't. You just need to get started. And as you get started, as the thing starts to snowball, you may find ways to generate revenue from that, and you can use that revenue to pump back into the venture to add better tools.
Okay.
But don't let the tools be the thing that stops you.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. That sounds like really great advice.
Now, I do have one other thing that I'd like to say.
Absolutely.
Having been a financial advisor for a number of years, get the money stuff straight. Like, make sure you keep your debt load as low as possible. And I know for millennials that's going to be challenging because a lot of them have huge student loans. I'm well aware of that myself. My student loan payment has a comma in it. So I understand having large student loans. And that makes it difficult to jump from job to doing this full time because the monthly nut you have to crack of income is high. I would love to not have a student loan payment. I could do so much more if I didn't have a student loan payment. So I have to have a job while I do this. I'm just fortunate that the job I'm pretty sure I've got is going to actually get me access to places I wouldn't other have. And having that I have a nature-focused thing and I'm going to work for an organization that owns conservation locations, and I have scientists that I have access to that can get me into protected facilities. Those two things go hand in hand. And you may want to think about that. Think about the job that you want or the career that you want. Is there a way you can marry that with job opportunities? And maybe those job opportunities will give you additional skills or give you additional access that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Awesome. Sounds good, Chris. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I know that a lot of people watching this are going to have similar feelings and going to be in similar situations. So you coming on and sharing your story with everybody is so appreciated. And on behalf of the Al-Suwailim Company, thank you very much again for your time.
No problem.
Okay. Have a wonderful rest of your day.